Hey everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life here for another episode using my June kit and this fun sketch from PageMaps, which was, there's a whole bunch of them that we were doing for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And I am using these two really cute photos of my kids that were taken at preschool and daycare for Father's Day this year. And I just wanted to have some fun, so I went through my kit, and I found a bunch of pattern papers that I thought would match and be able to fit together well enough for me to make a bunch of tags and follow the sketch along that way. Now, if you are a part of the Secret Not Secret kit, you are going to see a challenge come from this layout, so make sure you pay attention to that this weekend. We are in the middle of a scrap party weekend, and they're always really fun. I did create this layout for that weekend to go along with my personal challenge, so I hope you'll stay tuned and watch that if you're a part of the kit. If not, I highly recommend you become a part of one if you'd like. It's a really fun place to be, and it's just a lot of fun there. So like I said, my idea here was to cut off all the tags and make them all go ahead and work. I'm using both the A and B sides of the floral paper, which is now the floral and the blue, and then I'll do the same thing with this gray polka dot paper that's right underneath, because the back of it has yellow. And I just, like I said, made a whole bunch of tags. I traced them out as well, and just kind of went with it. It was super fun. I knew I was going to layer them, so I didn't worry about them being too long because most of them were going to be covered up. I then go ahead and use the rest of this beautiful wood grain. I love this wood grain. It's probably one of my favorite. It's like the, what do you call that, parka? Anyways, I love it. And I use that as the base, so my photos have a nice neutral to rest on, and it really helps. I do add a layer of just white behind each of my photos to just kind of help have them kind of stand on their own as well. But that little just neutral of the wood grain, it really helps to balance all the craziness from the tags, and I loved that. The hardest thing I dealt with this layout was figuring out my background. I struggled with that immensely. I couldn't figure out if I wanted a pattern paper background with color, if I was going to do white and do mixed media, if I wanted to have a border or not have a border. I struggled. And so that is the reason why this layout is the way it is. It was quite quick once I figured out what I was doing, but it didn't take very long. It didn't take very long to do other than trying to figure things out. So I have this video slowed down quite a bit compared to what it normally is, just so you can still have some of me jabbing away at you versus it being like a 3-minute video. I do take each of my photos and cut them down to Instagram size. There's so much noise in the background of some of these photos that I was like, it's not needed. I can totally just go ahead and trim them. And I didn't worry about taking the backing off from the cards. These were both Father's Day cards. I just used them and just trimmed them enough so you couldn't see them, and then I back them with, like I said, the white, and then I used a little bit of foam tape as well to help pop them up. And then I'm showing you how I'm taping these tags down. I was so happy with the way that they were placed and the way they looked, I didn't want them to move, so I just simply taped them from the top and then took off that tape and put the pattern paper that I wanted to use down. And that helped me be able to keep the tags the way they were without me having to just kind of guess at how I wanted them. Because sometimes when you have something exactly the way you want it, you just don't want it to move. You want it to stay there. That's right, Nora. And sometimes it's difficult. So that was how I went about that. It did add a lot of dimension to that pattern paper as well. So I did have to add some foam to that as well. Here I go for my background. So I'm originally trying to use this. This is the piece I used a while ago, and I have it in my kit to work. That didn't work. I decided to go, and I cannot believe I did this, because the B side of that paper, it's from Dear Lizzie, I had plans to use, but it was the only piece of pattern paper in my entire stash. I went through all of it. That was working. I could make work, and so I went with it. I just did. It's just pattern paper. I can find another striped pattern paper. I know I can. So there you go. I go ahead and do my title using some of the fun alphas I got in my alpha kit from last month. I did ask Christina for I think it was a $30 alpha kit, and she definitely provided me with some fun things to play with. And so it's called Father's Day Sillies because, as you can see, both of my kids have little mustaches and it's quite funny. And that wraps it up. I just put a little heart and a few added little embellishments along with the date. I still haven't quite figured out where I'm journaling, so that's fun. I'll figure that one out. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it, especially considering I've been struggling with scrapbooking this month. Like I said, I can almost tell you my news, so I'm really excited to be able to tell you soon. But it has caused me to slow down in my scrapbooking, and yeah, I've been struggling a little, and so it was nice to be able to get this page done. When I was tracing, I did make a little mistake, and I had to cover that up, which you'll see in my final photo. But thanks everyone so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I do hope to have a ton more up for you in July. So please stay tuned. There's a look at the sketch one more time that I was playing along with, and here is a look at my final layout. It's a long weekend in Canada, so have a good long weekend, everyone. Bye.